Hi everyone, it's me Judith. As you can see, I'll be responding to our discussions as through a video chat, and we'll see how this goes. This is a new way to do a discussion. Um, I think it's better than reading sometimes, just a little bit. Okay, well anyways, to get it back on topic, cultural deficit perspective is something that every teacher at one of their points will probably do within their field study or in their field. I understand that sometimes can be unavoidable, but it's our job to try to avoid that situation as much as we can. And as I said, it is our job to make sure not none of it, but we limit our perspective of cultural deficit cultural deficit. So, for example, a cultural deficit perspective is when someone misjudge or misconceives an action that is done by a student or a person, and being mistakenly because they just have low self-esteem. It's just how they grew up. They just really don't care, and they have no idea that it's probably part of their culture or their ideas in the homes that they grew up. It can be very difficult to distinguish in what is and what isn't a reason for a culturally based action, but we need to be careful when it is and when it isn't. I understand there are some students who will try to take advantage of you and blame it on their culture, but we need to be knowledgeable in the fact that we need to know our classroom personally in order to avoid situations like that. Personally, I don't know how I would do this when it's become my job as a future teacher to avoid certain situations like this. But as every great teacher, they have a lot of years and experience into dealing problems. So then this is just one of the problems as teachers will be needing to deal with. I believe I kind of already explained why this matters, just a little bit, but I'll elaborate more. Students learn and view their teachers a lot. They see them more than half a year, every day, 5 days a week, sometimes more than 8 hours. And it can be tiring. It could be, well, it won't be tiring, but it could be influential if a teacher does not notice or like has subtle not subtle disagreements, has subtle give subtle perspectives that aren't true to a student's culture or idea or beliefs or religion. If the teacher has a good, strong, and respectful model within the classroom, then the whole class can follow. And I believe this also follows within the secondary education system with also the elementary system. I'm an educational studies major, and I believe this is something I'll probably be doing a lot more within my field, whatever I'll be doing. Side note, I'm still not sure what it is. Give me a minute. Maybe in the semester, maybe not. But it can, like I said, this really does matter to everyone because we're all important. We're all special in our own little way. We are here for a reason, is what I have been brought up to be told. When growing up, I was told we were here for a reason, and that reason could be from the simplest things to the greatest of moments. It can be exhilarating and exciting. So that's what I believe. An example of me personally seeing a cultural deficit preposition. Sorry, can't speak. I could go back to my own education. When I was in middle school, 8th grade, I recently moved from another school that was close with the districts. And my teacher automatically thought I looked Native American, which I don't mind. I mean, I do have dark skin for a reason, But and I do have some Mexican Native American blood within me, so that's the color that I have. But they all automatically thought that I speak fluently in Navajo or I know all the traditions of what's going on. And when I moved from one school to the other, I kind of had a culture shock of seeing, wow, there's a lot more Native Americans here. And I'm like, I don't feel alone in being the only person of color. But it really didn't affect me as much. Um, it was interesting. Another example that I could give, it's a quick one. It's the first thing that popped into my head, is that when I moved schools in 8th grade, I was told by my father that I should take a Navajo class to speak Navajo. I took Navajo class in my 7th grade, so in the other middle school, and I learned a lot and I enjoyed it. But once I moved and I went to this other classroom, everyone was so surprised that this Mexican was in taking Navajo class and the only Mexican who doesn't speak or understand any other culture, which wasn't bad. On the side note, I did meet one of my best friends, and she's still my best friend. Um, and we did stay together, and she's my friend, and I mean I don't regret it, but just being pushed out and just saying, oh, this Mexican doesn't care about learning another culture, and why is she in here? She's not even the same race. So like, what's going on? It might not touch specifically on the cultural deficit perspective, but that's one personal experience that I have. I've always been a really good kid, so if my teacher has told me something, it might not, I don't remember what I've done. I usually laugh about my mistakes, so I'm really not sure. Um, but one story that my parents did told me is that when I was a little girl, I was very emotional, like super emotional. Like I would cry when I got a C on a spelling test, and I would be like bawling in the classroom. So during parent teacher conference, my teacher, Mrs. Travis, said, I was like, you have a very emotional daughter. Is everything okay at home? My parents looked at each other and they're like, she's fine, she's just emotional. And maybe she thought that it's just because of like how I was raised and how like I don't know. That's the another one that I do remember specifically of it being um having a problem within a teacher. But other than that, I've been a happy child, I suggest. I still enjoy learning and seeing um, different perspectives of everyone's culture, and sometimes prefer just to listen and analyze and think and discuss their opinions and ideas with someone else who I feel comfortable with. Or when the time comes, I'll usually give my opinions, but in a respectful way that I know that I try my best that I won't say anything that could be offended. But I know I am not perfect. I'm sorry in the future if I hurt anyone, and please forgive me. And you have a right to call me out. I just sometimes things go over my head, and I don't understand things. I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I really am. I apologize. Well, anyways, that was my discussion. And go ahead and comment about anything, even about my hair. Maybe look at my bow or something. And just tell me of what you think. And I would love to hear about your opinions. And I'll respond back through typing. I won't send you a video. I'm sorry. Okay? Well, see you guys in class. Bye!